Hello, hello. Okie doke, let's do this. Hey there, Vic, how you going? Hey, Deb. Okay. Can you guys hear me? I don't know what's going on. Not. There we go. Now where? There we go. Now where? Okay, I've got to turn the volume down. All right. Okay. How are you both? How are you going? I'm going to get my apron on. So when you pop in, guys, if you could just give me a thumbs up, that would be really great. I'd really appreciate that. Good to have you back with us, Vic. Oh, my head is... I've still got a headache, but not the migraine anymore, which is good. So thank you. You're a sore back, Deb. That's no good. Hey, Karina. No, it's 7 p.m., not midday, my love. I know what you meant, though. I am excited about tonight. What is happening with my... I don't know what's going on. I keep losing... Sorry guys, I'm having a few issues this end, but it seems that you guys are doing okay with seeing and listening to me or hearing me. Oh, it's all right, Vic. We're getting used to you having other priorities other than us. So, you know, we've all consoled each other about it, and we've come together, and we're okay. Hi, Kerry. How are you? All right. Well, I'm going to show you guys. Everyone's not here yet, but I'm going to show you. I've been having a little bit of a play the last couple of days, and I've been having so much fun. So I'm making grungy papers. I had no luck in finding my grungy journal. It has to be here somewhere. I mean, I haven't got any pages in it. It's just the cover that I've done. But do you think I could find it? No. And so frustrating. We don't want to tell you that, Vic, because you'll get a big head. So yes, I've been playing a little bit, and I've been making some grungy papers, and this is what I'm going to do tonight, and just show you what I've been doing and just playing around basically. You should see my desk. It is absolutely shocking, worse than normal. There is just stuff everywhere. I've got it all on the floor, and you name it, we've got it. Hi Deborah, how are you? So I'll just show you some of these ones. Some turned out better than others, but they're all nice and grungy looking, and I love them. Absolutely love them. So last night I had a bit of a play around, and I was very impatient, so I had to stick them. I did look under the stairs, Vicky. Yes, I've looked everywhere. obviously just not where it is. I got a bit impatient last night and I ended up putting some in the oven, hence the lines there, but these are just so much fun. Look at that. I've used colour and all sorts of things. Please don't ask me what colours I use because I can't remember, because I've just had a play. I love these ones here that are all, you know, like grey and brown and motley and, well, grungy. So these are just, these did get stuck a little bit, but I mean, we can put some, we could probably even, I think it just looks good anyway. We could put a little bit of ink over that just to sort of cover where that's been torn, and you wouldn't know any different. Benny's got the devil in him too, I must say, so he'll probably be carrying on like a pork chop all night. This is, I love this one. Oh, Deborah, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Please take care of yourself, Deborah. That's really, really hard. Yeah, I love this one. I love, love, love this one. And I've used salt. I don't know whether you can actually see the texture in that. It's actually left some really lovely texture. And that's the back, so that's where it got, that other one got torn. So same thing, we can just add a little bit of ink. I love this bluey colour, and this one here. They just all come out. You never know what you're going to get, to be honest. I love this one. The paper I've used, I don't actually know what it is. Kerry, it's probably a little bit thicker than your normal photocopy paper. This is foolscap. I was given a, see, these are all like aged and patinaed. I was given a bundle of them from one of Katie's old support workers, so yeah, Deborah, you make sure that you call out if you, even if you just need an ear, we're all here for you, most definitely. So yeah, I'm not sure. And then I did use, I've got another bundle drying at the moment. They won't be dry tonight, I won't be able to show you those. And I've just used copy paper, so you could just use your copy paper. But I have these here, and I just look, see, because I don't know, I think they may have been A3 papers, see how crooked that is, and they've cut them down. They were using them for disability support groups. So, and yeah, I just love the way all this, you know, granulations happened. And don't particularly like this because I used a metallic ink and I dropped it in there, but it just stuck to the paper and wouldn't move. But I mean, you can still use that. Yeah, you could use that. I thought tonight I might try a few different papers and just see what they come up like. So these are the, I use like a cooling rack, and that's just from the cooling rack in the oven. These were almost dry. Look at this, I love that. These were almost dry, and then I just stuck them in the oven to finish them off. So I just think really it's hard to pick a favorite. They've all got their own character, I think, and look at that, I love that. And this one here I think looks like a little bit of a log, a tree log. So, and because I've put that on a pizza tray, and because of all the deep cuts in the tray, and it's a really old tray, so you know, there's a little bit of rust on some of them and whatever. That's what that showed up. I'm going to show you a process in a minute, Vic. I'm just going to show you ones that I have made and how they came up. I love this. This looks like the beach to me, and then that's the back of it. So this has got a bit of white. I don't mind that. Look at that. I don't know. I love them. So there's lots and lots that I've been playing. I haven't been able to stop playing. I just really, really enjoyed making all of these. So, and as I said, you don't know what you're going to get. So I thought we would have, that's what we're going to do tonight, is just going to have a play. Look at that. Yum, yum. I have got a multitude of different mediums here. I have got several trays that I can make quite a few. And we'll just have a play and just see what happens. Well, the thing is, you're not going to see the end result tonight. So here's this metallic again. I really don't like that. I'm going to have to try and like water it down if I use it, I think. But yeah, that's just some of the papers that I've been doing on and off over the last few days. So I'll pop them to the side and we might get started. I did actually stamp a couple of, I just had a thought, I did stamp a couple of pieces of paper just randomly with some VersaFine ink. I need to let that dry a little bit more before I add liquid to it, because it will run otherwise. But I just wondered what that would look like with inks and that on top of it, and then hopefully some of this might show through. So we will use that, but I just want to leave that sit because I've only just stamped that before I came on. So we might get into it, hey guys. So tonight's just basically going to be a watch and play and see what I do, and then I'll share the results probably next week, or I might do an impromptu live on Facebook during the week. I'll have to see how things are going. So we might just get into it. Mum's doing okay, Deborah. She's got a lot of pain, and looks like she's got some major surgery coming up as well. So she's just waiting to see a physician to get the all clear with her health before that happens. So yeah, she's struggling, but she's tough and she's stubborn, and she doesn't let it beat her. So yeah, I just wish I could take her pain away. It's horrible seeing your mum and your husband in pain and not being able to do anything about it. But anyway, that's where we're at. So all I'm doing is I'm just putting some coffee on the bottom, just so that the paper can actually stick to it. And I'm just going to lay it down, and I'm going to, now some of this coffee is actually contaminated because I've just using the same coffee as I did a tray later on this afternoon, and it's a little bit contaminated with some inks that I've already used. So I just put a little bit on the bottom of the tray just so it grabs the papers, and then I'm going to go tip that over after I've painted it. So I'm just going to put just a light amount on. Thanks, Deborah. I'll let her know. I'm not sure. I don't think she's watching. Her and Katie are having a date at the moment. They're having dinner in Mum's bedroom well, Katie's on a picnic table. Mum's sitting in her chair. So I'll let them be at the moment. I don't think Mum's watching. So yes, so we're just going to spray paint on some coffee here. Now, Jim's just standing there just staring at me, being a creeper. So I haven't got much on this, much as in the way of liquid. So this liquid will build up and build up and build up. So in between each layer, sometimes what I did find is if you have big blobs, your paper will actually stick to those blobs. So, hi Clint, how are you? So I'm just going to, well, I'm just playing, guys. So I'm just going to add a little bit of extra liquid, and I'm just going to do blobs of coffee, and I've got all sorts of inks and what have you. I've got some of these infusions, powder infusions. I might use some of those. I have acrylic inks in different colors here and different brands. That's the gold metallic that I used. I've got re-inkers, as in Adirondack. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I've got that in different colors. Now, most of these re-inkers and that I actually got at a garage sale. Then I've got these distress stains that I haven't used forever, so I've grabbed some colors out of that. I've got some black Ken Oliver color burst. And I've also got a whole container full of bits and pieces of stuff that I've picked up from garage sales over time. So I'm going to go through some of those and probably use some of those as well. This will be a good way to work out what still works and what's separated, and I can throw them out. So I've just sort of let that sit for a little bit because I want the paper just to sort of take in the colour. So I don't know what we might do first. I've got some just coffee, what do you call that, instant coffee. I've been collecting tea bags because I want to do some tea bag art, and I've just got some of the tea leaves out of the dried tea bags. I just thought, not that that's going to give us really any colour, but I just thought it might give us some texture on the paper. So I've got some of that, and I've also got salt, so we'll have a bit of a play around with that. I did grab my alcohol inks. So with this paper, I was actually inspired by a lady on YouTube called Sherry Spear, S-H-E-R-R-I Spear, S-P-E-A-R. So I'm sort of got a lot of ideas from her. No, this is from a like a catering company tray. I've got several of them, Karina, and this is how I do, like, not what I'm doing tonight is not how I do my coffee dyeing for the shop, but I use these trays to put my coffee. But you can pick them up at any of your catering supply companies. Most of them are open to the public. Hi Amanda, haven't seen you for ages. Okay, let's just do some of this Ken Oliver colour burst. Now I haven't got the fan on tonight because it's reasonably cool here tonight. It's a bit of a change, isn't it? And I'm just going to put some of this down. I have had this for so long. It's called Lamp Black, but it's got a green undertone to it. And I'm just going to put this down. I will add a little bit more coffee on top of it. I don't want to squeeze it too hard because I did squeeze it the other day and it just went poof everywhere. So you can see how it's reacting with the liquid there. So you could actually leave that, which I think we probably will. We might just leave that for the moment.
Thanks for dubbing me in.
Thank you.
Mum's upstairs watching you and I just got...
Oh, you got in trouble. Mummy's watching, is she? Good on you, Mum. Okay, so we can leave that like that. And what if we even maybe add a little bit of salt? So I'm just using your table salt. I do have So everyone, when they eat, they're going to try and find salt, and there will be none. I do have a container of, here it is here, coarse salt, so we could probably use some of that as well. But anyway, we'll start with this. So all I do is I'm just going paper for paper and just playing, just experimenting. So this will give a really nice granulated texture and look to the paper and the ink. And as I said, you don't know what you're going to get. So then all I do is, because I don't have much liquid on there, I am actually going to just add a little bit on here, and if it drips on the paper, it doesn't matter. So just to put a little bit on the bottom. And we're just going to layer paper on paper on paper. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit more liquid on this one. I actually don't know whether Mum was watching. Was Mum really watching, James?
Yes, dear.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Hi from Vietnam, Cheryl. Oh, wow. Don't we feel special? Don't we feel special? How's it going? I bet you're having a ball. All right. So I'm just going to lay that down and just add a little bit more. So if you don't, when is a craft room never a mess, Clint, really? So I'm laying it down on top. Sometimes I don't, once I get more and more liquid, I don't necessarily paint the other side because you pick it up from the underneath, but I just let some of that liquid build up first. So, and I'm just really random where I put liquid and what have you. Okay, so we've done the Ken Oliver color burst. Let's use one of these re-inkers. So this one is Stream. Oh, that sounds good, Cheryl. And I'm just going to add straight from the bottle, and but I'm putting it mainly in the liquid places where there's more liquid, is what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to add, oops, didn't mean to put that many in there. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to add a little bit of coffee. Just drop it in. So different inks I've found react differently. And then I'm just going to move the tray around a little bit. Oh, excellent, Cheryl. Good news. Congratulations. So I am just going to move this around. And some of this colour is going to go on the underneath paper as well. But that's okay. Wow, this is really bright. But that's okay. Let's add, so in here I've got mixed with some water, some, I think this is cocoa brown ink, but it's got a little, like a pinky undertone. I've got some black acrylic paint, really watered down. And I've got some Payne's Grey acrylic paint, really watered down. So let's add some black splotches. I just need to clean out my fan brush. And I just love watching this react to the water. I mean, that, look at that, it's just, not to the water, to the coffee and the ink and everything. So this is just, I'm just adding a little bit of, so this will be grey, because I've got this acrylic, black acrylic ink, quite watery. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there as well. How fun's that? I just love watching it. Okay, I'm not going to do any more than that. So then we just lay out our paper again. Because I've got a lot of liquid on there, I'm not going to add anything onto the back. I'm just going to pop it on a top as square as I can, and I'm just sort of smooshing it around, not too much because I don't want to move the ink and that too much underneath. Just enough to press it down. You can move the tray, and see at the moment there's not enough liquid there to sort of grab onto these papers, and then we're just going to paint them again. So, and you can pick up, you know, you've got that ink there, you can pick that up and actually paint that on to your paper, so you're giving it a bit of colour anyway. And so this is how your coffee gets contaminated with colour. But I mean, grunge is it's grunge, isn't it? It's all, it doesn't matter, it's all different colours and messy, dirty. I don't know, that's what I think of when I think of grunge. So, you know, we could even, what if we just leave that, or what if we put some coffee on top, just sprinkle on top. I'm just being really random. This is, and I'm just using like the cheapest bottle of instant coffee from Woolworths. It's Woolworths brand. It smells disgusting, but it doesn't smell like good coffee, but it's good for this sort of thing. Yeah, I do, and I do, Karina. I'm going to do something with that shortly. So you can see how the bigger globs of coffee are reacting and they're spreading. So some of these aren't on much liquid, so I'm just going to get some coffee and just drop over top of that, and then that will actually make that coffee ground there spread a bit. So this is really dirty. A bit of white there, we'll cover that up. So I'm just going to do that over that, and we might leave that as it is. It'll be interesting to see what that comes out like. So I'm just again putting paper down. It's fun, isn't it? It's just, I could sit here for hours and hours and do this. I just get impatient though. I want to see what it dries like. So this one I'm going to add a little bit more liquid. And let's use a distress stain. So these don't, I could try and get the lid off, but what I've just been doing is just squeezing the bottle and then just placing the dauber, whatever you call it. This one's not going to work. Just on top. Oh, that just popped out and nearly went everywhere. Okay.
Hello. I'll just take him into help boy chat.
James.
Sorry, love.
You did rouse at Jim, hey? Oh, yes, he's just being a stirrer. Alright, so I managed to pop the lid off that one. I can hear Katie saying, "Is that Mum?" Hi, Katie. Okay, so I'm just going to use my fan brush here, and I'm just dipping straight into the distress stain, and I'm just going to sprinkle it across the paper. And this is disgusting. Look at that. It's like a clot. That's because I haven't used this stuff for so long. Isn't that disgusting? Oh, yuck. I'm going to clean that off. And you can see here, there's some of that coffee from underneath coming through. How cool is that? You can see that on some of them. Okay, so that is wild honey distress stain. Let's add some salt as well. So, what's happening tomorrow, Katie? So this paper here, Kerry, you were asking before what sort of paper this was. This is almost like a newsprint. So it's even lighter than like your photo paper, your copier paper. So I haven't used this before, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Excuse me, what it's like. So this is all it is, guys, is just layering upon layering and just experimenting and just seeing what you can come up with. What I might do shortly is just start another tray because I'm getting a lot of this bluey green through. Yeah, it did look like wattle, didn't it? I was thinking like gum leaves and you know, like Australiana colours. But you can see this paper, it's picking up the colour and that from underneath. Yes, so Katie's just told you all what we're up to tomorrow. She's a bit excited. So am I. I'm a bit nervous though because I've got to get from Mount Gravatt over to Suncorp Stadium by bus and then home again. Anyway, I'm sure we'll get there. Okay, what am I going to use now? What am I going to use? Let's use some of these infusions. Yes, it's very exciting. See, these are just little powders and I haven't used these before either. So I'm just going to sprinkle them on here. I need to probably put a hole in the lid and just shake it on there. May as well do the same on this side. Here's Mr. Benjamin, you can hear. He'd probably want to get up tonight, but he's not going to be able to because there's just too much stuff everywhere. Yes, contained mess into a tray. Di, how are you going? Well, they're in this because I want them to dry in this. So isn't that interesting how it looks there? So I am going to just move this liquid around a bit. This one's going to be bright, isn't it? I'm just going to add a little bit more coffee over top of those.
I'll just take it off one of the up off the floor in the house.
I'm just sort of mixing that up a little bit.
You're right,
So I don't want it as concentrated in one area.
Now, you go, right, so always do the same side. You go bang, bang,
And some of that blue's actually coming down there, you can see from underneath.
then do that, that.
So that'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, you take out.
So I'm going to do one more on top of this. Hello, Benjamin. How are you, darling? You can't hop up though, because you'll end up a different colour.
Now, you start with here. Start from one spot and
Okay. And this is contaminated again, so it's got the orange on it, but that's okay. We're just going to run with it and
drop. Do the next one. And then drop. Do the next one.
and
Okay, and drop.
what I'm going to do, I think I might use some of the black acrylic paint that I've really watered down just on this one.
Okay, then you grab this and you go.
Benny, are you in my bin? Hop down. Go on, off you go. So this is really, really watered down. I don't know whether you can see the consistency of that. It's a bit hard, but so you can see this, the way it,
Too easy, eh?
look at that, how it
Now,
It
what you do
expands.
then is you go like this. One space away.
I love looking at that. And I'm going to finish off with this one. I'm going to finish this tray off with this top one because I want to leave that sort of feathery, viney look and just see what it looks like when it dries. I'm going to add some salt to that as well.
Then, when it's all done, then you go up top with, and you grab, quarter up, put it on top of every point that you can, and then grab your, I'll just show you.
There we go. I love that. Look at that. How exciting is that?
So what I've done is
So this one's going to be a lot lighter, but I was a little bit heavier with this one. But I'm going to put this tray to the side, and I'm just going to, thanks Mum, you like that one, hey? I'm going to grab another tray. I'll be right back.
join them together. Okay, so then I just grab this, okay, hypothetically. Sorry, no. Yeah. Hypothetically, that's what I go. Then I just put that across and I join it together. And you just look for it.
Okie doke. Let's go again. These does look like spiders, doesn't it? Let's go with this. These that I have stamped. Hopefully they're dry enough. 'Cause I'm really keen to see what they look like if any of the
And then click together.
stamping shows through. They should.
I'll show you underneath.
So I'm just going to put the stamped, well, it's all coming through there anyway, so this will be interesting. Oh, look at that. So
Yeah, just like it.
it's going to come through on both sides.
So, see what I've done? Have a look underneath.
Look at that. I don't know whether you can see that. It looks really, really fun on this from this end.
No, this is well,
Yeah, they're just from a what did I say, guys? I can't speak tonight. A catering supply company.
So see how it's all doing over the next one.
And we're just going to tip that over.
And it took me 5 minutes to do the first one with mouth.
Right, let's add a colour. Someone tell me a colour that you want me to try, and I'll just see. See, this is going to be different because this one's got a dent in it, so all the liquid's going to fall away from that stamped image there.
So see how there's
I use VersaFine ink, Deb, and then I just let it dry.
join across here. You've got
Oh, yeah, Mulaney Laurel, nice.
to join it across.
Give me a colour, guys. Give me a colour.
What was that?
So I just like to sort of let particularly the first one, I like to let the coffee just sit on there for a little bit just to sort of get in there. Moss green, you'd have to be so particular, wouldn't you, Di? What about olive? Olive tree?
What is
I don't think I've got moss green. Hang on, hang on. What have I got here?
see? You go up like a wood block on top and then you join it across.
No.
It's
Olive, we're going olive tree green.
stone beam
How's that?
there.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? If I can, I'll probably end up ruining my... Oh no, look at that. I'm actually going to just do that and see if I can shake it out.
Open a stairwell
Oh!
or a rope bridge
There we go.
and through that there. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm just going to let that sit for a minute, then I'm going to add a little bit more coffee to that. So we can get that sort of moving. I don't want it sort of sitting in one big lump. So I'm just splotching it around.
So what's yeah, you've got
And then I'm just going to move the tray and let it run.
so then you've got your kitchen fireplace. Yep.
So there's a couple of colours from on my paintbrush that are coming through there as well. We've got some of that wild honey and some of that stream coloured ink. And then, so that's made that all go like a real olive. Oh, okay, I'll have to get some, Vic. No, what colour did I use? I used this one. It's only powder though, so it shouldn't sort of... Nothing should really happen to it, I don't think. Anyway, this will be interesting, this one, to see what it turns out like. It looks really, really dark and grungy, doesn't it? Hi Tanya, how you going? Alright, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to layer my next lot of paper on top of it. It'll be interesting to see what that one turns out like. Okay, so it looks like we're back to the fool's cup size paper here. And this one is really thin paper. It's thinner than your computer printer paper. I'm getting low on coffee. I'll have to go and fill it up in a minute. I've got a jar over, backup jar on the other desk. Add some, it might not be as contaminated too, so. But this does actually dry lighter than what
This is where all the food
Enchanted Forest. Ooh, that's nice.
I'll just put a like a paper sheet in here.
So you can see here some of that,
Now
what did we use? We used olive tree. infusions.
I'm starting to do the further. Greenhouse.
So I'm just going to add a little bit of extra. I'm going to have to go and fill up my coffee thing. Hang on a minute, guys. So I'm running a bit low.
Solvents. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is as easy as this is how you. This is 1 1/4 pint.
Okay.
No, you don't have to do it like that. Yeah.
So you can see that all coming through there now.
So the.
So I'm just going to add a little bit of more coffee to that, and then I think what I'm going to do is just put another layer of paper on and just let some of that sage green infusions just seep through.
Okay.
Actually, let's add a little bit of salt and just see if that does anything. And the salt's really good too because it stops your papers from sticking together.
Yeah.
So it gives you a bit of texture and what have you. So we're just going to go with that, and then we're going to paint again. So paint with our coffee. This is interesting. So the paper underneath, because it's really quite fine, it's all wrinkled. So that texture will actually come through on this paper. Not so much on this side. Okay, so I'm going to add some Payne's Grey, watered down Payne's Grey acrylic.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what I've been doing for the last probably
James.
3 days in between. I'm going to copy. I'm going to duplicate this build and put it on the plate that does it freeze.
That's Mum and Katie's TV upstairs that you can hear.
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I bet it does dye. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Where's my water? Let's mix that up.
What's it? That too, you can. That.
So this is just the same as the black ink that we used before. You can see it all spider and it just moves around. So I've got probably a little bit too much coffee on there for my liking, but it's okay. They all turn out differently, and I didn't mean to do those big blobs either, but we'll run with it.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Hey, it's got the sink set in, ready to go. But when I blueprint this, nothing under this will be coming. Yeah. No, oh, they can. It's. I can't really. Sorry, mate. Sorry. No. Alright. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Alright, mate. Catch up.
Okay, I love this Payne's Grey. It's really nice. So I've probably got a little bit too much coffee for my liking there, but we're going to just leave it there. And I'm just going to add the next layer to that. Thank you. Is that Helly? Is that how you pronounce it? Thank you so much. Hopefully they will be when they dry. Okay, so more coffee. So what I'm going to do is, I think, who was that? Karina that asked if I had alcohol. I'm going to get some of my alcohol inks, which I've got here to the side. So I'm not going to put as much coffee on this one. Now, just need to get a palette. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, I have literally got no room on my desk. I'm going to choose a colour. I want to try and orange, yellow. Let me just have a look what I've got here. Helly. Well, welcome, Helly. Where are you from? I don't think we've met you in the live before. Thanks for popping in. I'm going to, yes, I'm just going to use coffee because I want to try and, I probably won't. These, because I'm going away tomorrow, so these I'm probably just going to leave in the trays and let them dry naturally. But the ones that I did last night, I did not fully dry, but dried halfway and in the oven, and then I just laid them out on my table and let them dry naturally, and they turned out really nice. Now I'm looking for, so blending solution. So I'm just going to add, I don't know, I may have watered that down too much, but let's just go with that. So we need to use this up because your alcohol will, can't get that lid on straight now, will, you know what I mean, disappear. I can't speak English. Oh, well, welcome, Helly. Thank you. What time is it in Denmark? It's great to have you. So now I haven't used alcohol inks on this before, and I mean alcohol inks are normally used on like a shiny paper, Yupo paper or something like that, but so I have really watered this down with the alcohol solution, but you can see some color happening there, and it's also bringing the color through the paper from underneath. So what I might do is I'll just do this fairly lightly, and then the next one I won't water it down quite as much, but you can actually see it reacting. Hopefully you can on camera. Evaporate, that's the word, Tanya. Thank you. I've had a migraine today, so this afternoon, I was lucky enough to catch it reasonably early, but I didn't feel great, so my brain's a little bit fried, a bit more than normal. So, I mean, I've used that up, and I'm going to do it again, but now I don't know where I've put that colour. I'm going to use this one next. Peach it's called, and I'm not going to water it down quite as much. So oh, you're still at work, hey? Officially. All right, we won't tell anyone. We won't tell anyone at all, Helly. So I'm just going to lay this down. Now some of these backs are going to have some white areas on them. I'm not worried about that. Like I showed at the beginning of the live, you can always just rub on some ink if you don't like the look of it to cover that up. And I'm just pressing it down. I'm trying not to move the background around too much because I want the inks and that to sort of stay pretty much where it is. Oh, Sassy Pigeon, how are you? We've got some newbies in tonight. Great to have you join us, guys. All right, so we're going to do coffee first. Once again, I'm not going to put big puddles. I just want to add a bit of color to the paper. I won't tell on you. We know nothing here. Nothing at all. Okay, so I'm going to use this peach color. What have I done with it now? It's over here. So we're just going to, I'm not going to water it down anywhere near as much. Oh, this is quite pink. No, I don't want bright pink. I've changed my mind. Let's just get another color. What have we got here? This one is ginger. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to add not as much. Just do a little bit. Oh, that's no good, Tanya. Goodness me. No, mine wasn't anywhere near that bad, that's for sure. I just couldn't see out of my eyeballs for a good hour or so, and then I just had the headache, but I managed to take some tablets, medication, as soon as the aura started, so that was good. Okay, so we can see a little bit more color there. I could sit for hours and just watch how it reacts to the coffee. So it's already evaporating on me. So this is, having it a bit darker is just so much better. Look at that, love it. Oh wow, love it. Probably, oh well, I've got the big door open, so just make sure you do it in a ventilated area because it's a little bit potent. Isn't that nice? Looks nice. I do like that. All right, so I might add a little bit of black, just a few black splatters. I'm going to do, I have a grungy journal that I've started somewhere. I can't find what I've done with it at the moment. And these are some that I've done over the last few days. And I'm going to use them in there. But I'm probably going to try and sell some of them in the shop as well. So great for, I've just started doing art journaling as well. So be great for that as well, I think. So thank you. All right, so I don't want a lot of this because I quite like, anyway, if I ruin it with the black, so this is going to, this is a black acrylic ink that I'm using, really watered down, and it's going to spider. So I might do some more of the alcohol ink without this, but it's sort of, well, I'm just doing it lightly and it looks like crackling, doesn't it? So I think it'll look quite effective actually. Wow, love that. Okay, so we add a little bit over here as well. I can tend to get a little bit heavy-handed, but I think that's what I like about these, is that you never know what you're going to get. You can never recreate exactly what you've done previously. Look at that. I love that. I'm going to leave that sit for just a little bit so that it can get into the fibres of the paper before I put my next lot on top. That alcohol stings cuts as well. Hurt. Okay, I'm loving that. Oh, you should, Sassy. It's so much fun. I hope it does too, Tanya. So I'll have to show you guys during the week or something how these turn out, because I'm just going to leave them while I'm away for the weekend, and hopefully they don't stick together. And I will probably do an impromptu live on Facebook or something during the week. So just going to lay this on top, and I don't know how many pages I do. I just keep going. And if you are impatient, you can use anything. There are no rules in junk journaling. I thought I had my art journal. I just thought I'd show you. I don't know my art journal where it is at the moment. I've got such a mess on my desk at the moment, Sassy, it's ridiculous. But this is a junk journal that I've made, so it's it closes with that clasp, but this is one that I'm making, so it's got pockets and different papers. This has just got coffee dyed papers, craft paper. It's just got like a multitude of different papers, printables, marbled paper, you know, you name it, you can put anything in them. So, and then you can just journal. So this one's got 2 signatures, a ledger paper, yeah, all sorts. So you can do pretty much whatever you like. And I mean, if you do bullet journaling, do you decorate your pages and that sort of thing? You'd find, I'm sure you would find junk journaling quite easy. I know of quite a few ladies that have changed from bullet journaling and gone to junk journaling. So check out my channel anyway for videos, and you'll see all the different things that you can do. So much fun. You just go down a hole and you never come back out again. So all right, what are we going to do now? Let's do some of that. Oh, that's got the lid from that thing in there. So I'm just using plastic cups here as well. I'm going to use some of the metallic that I said it was too blobby. On the other one I didn't really like the look of it. And I'm going to actually water that down with water. Where's the... I'm just using my feather brush again, and I'm just going to add, oh, that's much better. Just going to add a little bit of metallic gold on this one, and maybe some of that mushroomy brown ink. So let's put gold all over these two. Oh, see what I mean? I get a little bit heavy-handed. I can feel the ink going all over my arm. I've got a good dress on, and you want to bet I've got ink probably all over it. Even though I've got an apron. So, okay. So, see, I've got way too many big blobs on there now. But we're going to just run with it. And I'm going to add this. It's like a... I think it's... I think it's this one. I can't see what colour. Oh, burnt umber, but it's got like a real... I don't know whether it's the paper or it reacts to the paper. I'm in southeast Queensland in Toowoomba. Sassy, where are you? So this has got like quite a pink undertone or a burgundy undertone. Okay, so it's gonna, it's doing big drops everywhere. That's not what I wanted, but anyway, we'll experiment, hey? Oh, you're in Adelaide? Okay. So you okay with the, you got fires? No, that's Victoria. But it's hot down there, isn't it? Really hot. Today was beautiful here. Absolutely beautiful. I could have this weather all the time. Okay, so look at that. Isn't that fun? So that's what I did on one of those other papers, and then I just sort of moved, but I haven't got a lot of liquid on these papers at the moment. So I'm just going to, yeah, sorry, I got mixed up. That's Victoria. Yeah, I'm sure it will warm up. I think it's tomorrow. It's supposed to be back to 30, which isn't extremely hot, but I'm just ready for autumn, to be honest with you. Just need to move that because I'm going to make a mess here otherwise. So this actually dries really nicely. I'll see if I can find the one that... So this is the colour that it dries. It's sort of like a, I don't know, see what I mean? It's got like a maroony colour undertone to it. So I like that though. Oh, you were lucky. How are you getting home just before COVID? We were supposed to be heading over to Europe in 2020, but didn't end up getting there because of COVID. Thank you very much, COVID. I'm going to add just a little bit more on here. And I'm going to add a little bit more coffee. So I don't like those big blobs of gold, but it is what it is. No. Let's just see. See, this is just all reacting differently. Let's add some salt. And I'm going to add some salt onto this one too. Why not? Let's just do it, eh? See what happens. Okay, next layer. I've lost my picture again. Okay, so I'm just adding, oops, more coffee. I'm just letting you guys chat while I'm playing here. I'm just quite happy just to be playing around here. But if anybody needs to ask me anything, just can you write it, type it in capital letters. That'd be really good. Thank you. Hi Angela, how are you? Good to see you. How's all your tags going? I haven't caught up with everyone's yet. Been too busy trying to do videos to do my own. It's crazy, isn't it? You can use different stamps. On one of these papers underneath, I did actually stamp some different stamps just to see what they look like and come through, if they come through all the colours, which I think they will. So yes, you can use any sort of stamp really. Just if you're adding obviously liquid to it, you need to use a permanent ink. I'm committed though, Angela. I've set myself the challenge and I've decided I'm just going to do it. I nearly gave up on today. I had to get one done today for tomorrow because I'm going away. And I thought, no, I'm just going to let it go. And I thought, no, I can't let it go. I've come this far. I need to keep going. Oh, yeah, you can. You can most definitely do that. So I'm just putting the bottom of my coffee mug on here. And just to see if that, I mean, that's leaving an image. And on the underneath side, it's probably actually going to pick up some of the salt and the ink that's on the paper underneath. So but you can use all sorts. So you can even put stencils in between these to dry. So some of the I'll just show you, these are just fragments. I've just laid all these out on the table and put plastic stencils and doilies over the top, and so they just dry like that. So is that what you mean, Sassy? So yeah, just to give you a bit of an idea. These are all I've just done these as fragments. They're not the ones that I sell in the shop. You know, you've got these are just some A5 ones, just some different ones. It's got some plain. So yeah, it's really only as limited as your imagination, really, I guess. So I've left that mug on there for longer, and it's really showing through. But that'll be interesting to see how that actually comes through. I'm just going to grab some more paper here. Okay, and I'm going to lay this down, and I just need to clean off my coffee mug before I put it on my table. Not that it matters because I've got coffee everywhere. So I'm just, this is back to the really thin paper. Okay, and I'm going to, what am I going to do? Let me have a think. Oh, thanks for popping in, Sassy. Oh, isn't it horrible how we have to actually be adults sometimes? It was lovely to meet you, and thanks for dropping in. Okay. What shall I do? I don't know what to do. Let's use, this mushroom, I don't know, this mushroom tone. So I'm just going to add, look at that. Isn't that fun watching that just spread? So I'm going to add a little bit more coffee in there so I can put a little bit more on, just sort of drop some around. So I just like to add the ink to the liquid so that it actually just sort of cauliflowers out, or whatever you call it, rather than directly onto just a little bit of liquid. And I mean, you can't control what it does. Sorry guys, I'm not talking much, I just having fun playing here. Oh, Helly, you're off as well. Thanks for popping in. It was lovely to meet you. I'm just... Benny? Just excuse me for a second. What are you doing? What have you got? Little bugger. I was just thinking I should be using pink because I'm going to have alcohol ink all over me and not be able to get it off before I go tomorrow. So I should have pink, use pink, so I've got pink hands. Anyway, I'll just look like a grub. Coffee all over my desk. I want to add more than that. And here Benny, he's got a packet, he's been in my bin. And every time I try and get it off him, he just runs. I'll do that. And spray those. I've got this ink potion number 9. It's a ink blending solution. Will I try that? Oh, look at that. That did nothing. Just the big dots, you mean? Yeah, no, okay. So alcohol in a... Okay, I'll have to do that next time. I want to add, I'm just having a look here, where's, oh, let's add just some of this. I've got my brush in this, so we'll just go with some of this. Just some of those. I just love how that looks like. It's cracked, the paper's all cracked. Benny, no, you stay away from my bin, mate. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You can't come and say hello tonight either. Oh, actually, I know what you've got. You've got the doorbell lids, I think, haven't you? You're a little bugger. Oh. Yes, you can't come up and say hello, darling, because I've got ink everywhere and you'll be a different colour. You won't be white anymore. Alright, let's just put another layer on, and then I might start another tray. I can't even remember how many papers I've got on here, so I will, especially for you, Di. Look at that, you can see this thinner paper, it's just mopping up. I've got 2 sheets there, I think. It's mopping up the ink and that from underneath, so that'll be interesting. It might, that cracking, yeah, see it's taken away, that cracking. Okay, that's right. We might finish off with that one, hey, so that we can get a dried effect without another piece of paper changing it. All right, so we're going to finish with this one, and I think we finished the last one with some of the cracking too, didn't we? Okay, so I'm just going to use the same colour. Take care, Amanda. Catch up soon, hey? I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put one side, I'm going to put salt on, and the other side I'm just going to leave it. So I guess the more you do, the more you sort of learn what effects you like, although when you get the papers you can't remember exactly what you did anyway. So it's all just experimental. So I've got a bit heavy on this one. I'll put the salt on this one. And I'll go and put this tray over the other side of the room, and I've got to check on this dog because I can hear he is into something. Okay, so I'm just going to add salt. I don't really think, you can see it sort of, once it touches that ink, you can see it sort of changes the look a bit. But I'm not going to put any on this side, and we'll see what happens. All right, Karina, thanks for popping in. Take care, hey? Yeah, true, Di. All right, I'll be back with another tray and 2 ticks. Okay, so you could do book pages and all sorts, actually. Thanks, Karina. I'm sure we will. It'll be amazing. So yeah, as I was going to say, you could do book pages. You could do all sorts. Really. Okay, so this probably will be the last tray, but I'm going to do a few different papers in this one and just see how they come out. So I'm going to use, what have we got? I've got a sketching diary, and it is 110 GSM, and I've got this one here, art diary. It's 110 GSM, but the texture of the paper is completely different to the other one. So we're going to try this one first, and then if I get some colour on these edges, I love using these edges in collage and layering. So we're going to just add some on here, and this, I can see already that this soaks up the liquid much quicker than the other papers that I've been using. I'm just going to tip that over. My brush is starting to disintegrate here. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Holy dooly. It'd be, and I mean the concerts are so close together, aren't they? The amount of time, they must have it down pat, you know, recreating the stage and everything, every concert. Okay. So I'm going to, yeah, my brush is all falling apart. Oh well, it'll add texture to the paper, won't it? So I'm going to go in with a distress stain again, and I'll see. Well, this is quite limey. Oh, 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 oh. Hang on a minute. No, night, Katie. We're going to leave about 10 tomorrow. Yep. Okay, so you get up and get organised. Yep. I'll see you in the morning. Love you.
I do look.
Beg your pardon?
I do look. Tom. I look.
You what? Sorry.
I do look. At Tom.
You did look at the time.
Yes,
for what?
Look.
Yeah. Okay. Night.
Good.
I don't particularly like that colour. Now I can't find the lid. I'm just going to do one side with that. I'm going to add a little bit more coffee. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to add a bit more coffee, spread it around, and we'll just run with it. We'll see what happens. I might just add a little bit of black onto that. It's funny how that reacts to the distress stain. So that might turn out quite nice. I might end up liking that. Alright, I'm just going to do some black on this one.
No.
And this is, I think I said to you, acrylic paint that I've been using and just really watered it down. And this ends up being quite, well, this will end up still being quite dark, but the other is just quite grey. Okay, so most of the black ink is gone on that. Obviously it doesn't react and stay on there with that distress stain. Alright, let's just put another paper down. So I'm going to now do the, it's the same weight, but I'm just going to do this sketching diary paper. It's got a different texture, so it'll be interesting to see, and it doesn't feel as thick as this other one, even though they say they're the same weight. They don't feel the same weight. And I'm not going to worry about adding coffee to the back. Probably should have, but anyway, we will just add coffee to the top. So there is just so much that you could do. I'm going to grab a couple of these bottles that I've got in that container down the bottom here on the floor that I haven't looked at for years, and most of them I picked them up from a garage sale, so goodness knows they're probably all separated and no longer any good. But what better place to try them onto than some grungy papers. Okay, so what have we got? Okay, so we've got some Tattered Angels chalkboard spray. Let's let's see what that does. Ooh, ooh, look at that. We didn't need as much. Oh, that's a little bit too much. Sue, what are you doing? That's all right. We'll just spread it around a bit. So everything's going to be contaminated with black now, but that's okay. You know what? I'm leaving that exactly as it is. I'll leave it as it is. And it's sort of disappearing. But that'll probably, like, that'll be a nice grey, grungy looking page, I think, once it's dry. No worries, Deb. I hope you're feeling better very soon. Take care, hey? So I'm just going to add a little bit of coffee on the back here. Just very randomly. So we're going to have black that's going to seep into nearly every page, obviously. And I'll do the same with this one. So I'm just being really random, just to add a little bit of colour to the back of those, and then I'll just do that here. So you can see it's picking up some of the ink there on the wrinkles of the paper. Actually, speaking of wrinkled paper, let's try, we should wrinkle some paper, scrunch some paper up and put it down and see what we can come up with. What do you reckon? All right, so what if I use that, what if I use that chalkboard spray and try and just, actually I'll do it on this side where there's not as much liquid, and I'm just like tapping it on there. That's quite nice. What do you think? I quite like that. Some tissue paper. I was going to try some newsprint. I don't think I've got tissue paper handy. It's down in the garage. But yes, we can try tissue paper next run. I'm just grabbing here. What have we got here? This is all. So this is another chalkboard from Tattered Angels. Wow, didn't even realise I had these. I quite like that look. I hope that dries nicely. So I'm just going to try a few different colours because I love teal. Okay, so this isn't showing up very well because it's got a lot more liquid on the paper. So I'm just going to spray it directly on, and then I'm going to move the, so that's spreading out quite nicely. Some nice little bit of colour. Let me get the newsprint that I was going to try, Vic, and we'll see what that looks like. Actually, you know what I have got? I've got that calligraphy paper from Dazo, and it's sort of tissuey. So let's have a look at that, hey? It's quite, it does have one shiny, like satiny side and one rougher side. So, all right, let's just pop it. Ooh, look at that. Night dye, take care. Looks like a brain. That's really interesting, isn't it? I like that. I actually, just going to drop a little bit of coffee on there. That'll be interesting to see how that dries. adding a little bit there. I'm going to do a couple of layers of that so that it soaks up some of that colour. Well, that's just fun watching that, isn't it? Look at that. So those crinkles in there should dry, and you can still see, I don't know whether it's just that we can see that ink or whether that's actually bringing some of that ink through to that calligraphy paper. That is very interesting though. Do one more, and I'm going to add a little bit of black splattering on this one. We might do, actually I quite like that chalkboard, that black chalkboard. What have I done with that now? I quite like that. That's what that is. So we might do some of that on there.
So we have to make
Wow, I can't wait for these to dry and see what they all turned out like.
with like half of them.
So, just do a little bit. So this will probably seep through to the ones underneath, I would imagine, because it's fairly transparent. So we're going to leave that like that. And then let's try the newsprint. It is, isn't it, Angela? This is so much fun, just experimenting and seeing what happens. So this newsprint has a grey background to start with, and it's really quite thin. So does it say how? 50 GSM this is. So it's going to just soak up any liquid as well. But we have a grey background to start with, so it'll be interesting to see what it will look like with the coffee and another colour on there.
No steep pitch. Is that stone, or are you going to do timber? Okay.
All right, so I'm going to add, I just keep going for the same colours, don't I? Let's use one of these infusions and just do a different colour. Let's go limoncello. I'm going to punch a hole in the top.
Don't you want to wait until you get that hole in the
Okay, let's see what happens here.
I suppose if you're using the command prompts,
Nothing.
doesn't make no difference, does it?
Doesn't want to come out. No, whether it's coming out or whether you just can't see it. There's not enough liquid on there, or hang on a second.
Is it going all the way through the window?
Make the hole a little bit. There we go. It's coming out now. So it's got like a little mustardy colour, I think. I don't know whether you can even see that between the light and
It's not,
the liquid. So I'm just going to drop just coffee randomly over that, and then I'm going to lay another couple of newsprint pages over top and just see if that soaks up any of that colour. You can see some of it coming through there. 2 pages, yeah. Oops. So you can see some of it. Actually, I don't know whether you guys can, but there is some of that coming through that paper there. You can see the colour coming through there. So that's interesting. So I'm just going to, probably just going to drop some of the coffee on here, not cover it completely, and then I might add even just a little bit of black maybe and see what happens. I'm going to just go for the black acrylic paint. So obviously the dry bits there are going to, unless the coffee runs into them, you'll see them a bit more. Always seem to be on the right side. I always tend to drop more ink. I don't know why. So I'm going to leave that like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the paper I was using before. And actually I've only got, oh, hang on a minute. What have we got here? Back to this. And this is quite thick, so okay, so it looks like everyone's dropping like flies here, so we've only got 7 of you now hanging in there with me. So I might just, let's just call it a night, hey? I've got a big day tomorrow anyway, so getting up and heading to Brisbane to go and see Pink, so I might call it a night. Thanks for joining me and just letting me have a play and see what we come up with. And as I said, I'll probably share, I'll try and, depending on what next week brings, I'll try and do an impromptu, probably impromptu, either it'll be a live on YouTube or just on Facebook, but I'll share it to the group anyway. So Angela, are you part of our group? We have a Facebook group called Paper Inspirations, Be Inspired. Sorry, Be Inspired Paper Inspirations, if you're interested in joining. So I'm going to say hooray and thanks so much everybody for joining me. I'm just going to play for another 10 minutes and then I think I might take myself off to bed. I've actually got to go and iron some clothes and get some bits and pieces together, so I probably should go and do that, ready for tomorrow. So we'll have a great time, I am sure. So thanks, Deborah. You take care, and remember, we're all here for you. So thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you next week at the next live, or if not, beforehand. Take care. Bye. How do I get out of here? I can't get out. Oh dear. Why do they change everything all the time? Okay, there we go. See ya.